The EVVA Intercode System, or ICS, is an Austrian dual-mechanism high-security lock. The first mechanism is a 3-pin tumbler up top with oddly shaped key pins that are reminiscent of Dom's shark fin pins. The fin section can be either oriented to the left, center, or the right. These are easily picked. The next mechanism consists of 10 sprung sliders, 5 sliders on the left and 5 sliders on the right. Each set is associated with its own sidebar. On one side of the slider, there is a pin, which must be elevated by either a key or manipulated by a pick to the correct height. On the other side of the slider, there are 3 gates, 1 true gate and 2 false gates. There is also a protrusion that is associated with a spring. There are 5 slider types which correspond to their true gate height. Highlighted in green are their true gates, in red, the false gates. Let's look at these sliders inside of the lock. In this example, we see the relative set position of the minimum lift slider number 1 and slider number 2. In this next example, we see the relative set position of slider number 3 and slider number 4. Finally, we see the relative set position of the maximum lift slider number 5. In this composite still, we see all 5 sliders in their set position. Once all of the sliders are set to their correct height, their true gates will align and allow the sidebar to retract. Okay, let's get to picking. The most common behavior of the ICS is for the lock to isolate in groups. First, the top pins have to be set. Then we have to focus on one side of the sliders, which is 5 sliders on one side. Set all of those, and then finally the other 5 sliders on the other side have to be set. The bottom of the keyway is a large empty space and it has no elements in it, so the best option for tensioning would be to completely fill up the bottom with Z-bars. The tighter the fit of these Z-bars, the more control you have over the tension, which is really important when setting the sliders. The major difficulty with this lock is that when you set one slider, it can and often does cause another slider to drop, and this is affectionately known as the ping pong problem. Okay, so I'm going to shove in a couple of those Z-bars into the bottom of the keyway, to that large empty void. I'm going to use a Peterson number 7 hook with counterclockwise rotation. The pins on the top, the springs are really light, so they're easy to set. It's 3, 2, 1, 2, trying to get back to 3, 3, 2, little rotation on the core, so the top pins are set using a Sparrows half diamond. We're going to start off with the sliders on the left side. That's number 1. It's binding, and when it jiggles, we know that it's set. Number 2 is binding, and now it's jiggling, so that's set. Number 3, trying to push that guy up, and that's jiggling and set. Number 4, binding really hard, pushing it up, and now that's set. Checking 3 is jiggly, 2, gonna push him up, and now he's jiggly, 3, 4 dropped. So that's the ping pong problem. One slider dropped another. So now 4 is set again, 5, 4, I'm just checking them all, jiggling them. 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, jiggling, 4 jiggling, 3 jiggling, and a little rotation of the core, which signifies that the left side is set. We're going to go to the right side and to the back. Number 5 is binding, pushing him up. Now he's jiggly and set. Number 4 is bound and now jiggly. Number 3, jiggly, so that's a min lift pin. Number 2, pushing him up. He's bound and jiggly. Number 1 is bound. We're pushing him up and we're open. Nice. All right, so we're going to take out those Z-bars and release the ICS from the vise. And we're going to fast forward through a lot of this. All right, so we're going to take the key, rotate the core 45 degrees, and with a follower, push the core out while holding onto the two sidebars that are on the sides. Let's take a look at that left sidebar. Beautiful. Right one. Okay, dropping out the key pins. 3, 2, 1. Putting my finger over the sliders while withdrawing the key, and we'll pop them out one at a time. So number 1, number 1, number 2, number 2, number 3, number 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Let's take a look at the core. Those are all the springs for the sliders. That's the sidebar groove, key pins, and the second sidebar groove. It's the front with the keyway. Let's put down the core. And taking out the drivers, they're all standard. The two slots on the sides are for the sidebars. And let's make this pretty. Okay, now for the close-up. See all the sliders and their true and false gates. And that's it. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this pick. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.